Go to see again as that reminder who knocks out who. You lose this game, you're done. You're going home.
Let's go down into it. We'll get through that banning phase nice and quick. Diaz, we see that you are ready. We see it.
We are well aware.
We're in the lobby and we're going through the bans. Let's see, we've got Azami and Blackbeard, same as.
Blackbeard
and Blitz.
Same story.
Clearly, anything that would be annoying for CAG to attack, right? Anything that would burn time for them to open the walls. They want the walls to be open as quickly as possible to then start working the site. Makes sense. And it's showing the Monty again.
Now, there's a golden rule here, Leah, that we need to tell you on. It's we made the mistake yesterday of getting excited about Fuse. We don't talk about hover picks. Because they always change last second.
Yeah.
The second you start talking about
They spent a good 30 seconds explaining the use of Fuse.
He did then use Fuse later on in the next round of that same side.
Attacker repicked with 1 second left to go.
All right, I'm following your golden rule then. I'm not speaking about the attacker operators until the prep phase is done.
But talk about the defenders then, Leo.
Yeah, we can mention that Ask once again. So he removed the pulse. He's likely not to be the rover this time, and they want to have extra wall denial. Or, I'm assuming, extra intel denial with that mute jammer. He still has a C4, he still could theoretically go downstairs and try to be annoying there. We still have also the yokai drones and the Mira to try and have intel on the other ring of the bomb site. That makes sense. And the Fenrir to try and prevent the late round execute on the site.
I have an interesting question for you. A lot of teams have banned away Kaid. Like Two-Brow being banned here, but Kaid not being banned is quite interesting. Why do you think you take away the Two-Brow here on Nighthaven over just banning away a Kaid?
I think on most of the maps it's been banned. Clubhouse, for example, mainly. It's because the duel between Bandit and Kaid is extremely strong to switch in between the tricks. You have a Bandit trick, the Bandit trick can't be there anymore, you have the Kaid trick at the same time. And what it allows you to do is burn so much time and actually maybe win rounds just off utility, which is something you always want to have. On this kind of map, it's okay to not have it, to be honest. Especially when the Thatcher is up, the Kaid trick is very, very limited in potential.
Good. All right, well, let's see if they can keep IT wall closed up nice and tight. It was last time around. They managed to get it open up, though, with relative success. CAG, they had the 2 Selmas, one being on the left, one on the right. They managed to trick out one, but it did open up. In fact, it looks almost exactly like this. This time around, it looks like it might go through, no problemo.
Evan
opened up, mirror out the way.
Could take.
Basically the same as last time around.
And they bring the Grim this time. So no Monty to take the garage side. They will need to work a little bit more for it. I assume this time they will be ready for a flank. And that flank will not happen from what I see right now. Everyone is upstairs.
Just looking at where CAG are forming up around the site, pretty much all still up on the roof. Maybe a little bit of indecision on their part, just getting the drones in, seeing what's ahead of them before deciding exactly where they're going to commit those resources to. But it looks like it's going to be warehouse, as we've got Sharif moving in along with Black Ray on the thermite. So definitely going in for that triple wall again, try and get that breach directly into the A site and apply a bit of pressure to Reset's Nest on that side.
The real point right now is they have garage control, they've got IT control now is to go in electrical side and also backstab Aqua. You need at least one of these pressure points to be on the back of the defenders if you want to win this. And this is the interesting pick from Liquid. With Ask on a shotgun, he can hold Aqua door, strong, close range with a shotgun, which makes Aqua very tough to get. The only thing they need to focus on now for CAG, with Shurip having control of garage, is take electrical.
Interestingly, Black Ray has moved around. He was originally with Sharif out there towards warehouse, but he's now moved around to get the bigger opening on the IT side of things. Only 50 seconds left to go, Des, and CAG don't really have any map control here. There's still 3 of them outside of the map.
Yeah, this is a little bit strange, isn't it, actually? I think the other 2 as well are still scattered to the high winds, so there's not really a strong focus. It looks like they're going for this jungle side take while also pushing into IT. In fact, that's exactly what Black Ray is going to do off to the left of your screen, stepping in here. Shurif also pushes up on Catwalk at the same time, so actually very quickly, they have got some ground here to ensure Black Ray gets a trade. In fact, 3 quick kills out of seemingly nowhere. Arcully slaughtering Liquid where they stand. Ask will do what he can. But CAG take round 1 in the matter of what, 10 seconds?
Yeah, honestly an amazing execution. So exactly like we said, they got in garage really quickly. At 2 minutes left in the round, they already have garage control, they've already reached IT, and they've got a Nomad this time to hold that zone. And now they can rotate 4 players to go and get the rest of the map control, get electrical, get garage, commit all at the same time. Perfect push from everyone at the same time, well synchronized. That's what we were missing from CAG before.
We've seen that a little bit this week, to be fair, Tim, where we've been a bit worried coming into the last 40 seconds. It's like, oh, they've basically got no control, but it's like they have soft control, where they haven't got anyone in the room, but the defenders equally aren't playing in there because they don't know what's going on. They're out of util. They've already had that part of the map cleared, for example. They've already fallen back, and it's with that you see the attackers just suddenly able to explode and have a lot of map control in the space of 2 or 3 seconds, and well, you can see what happens. Defenders just don't have time to react.
No, they've done fantastically, especially considering that they've had to use doorways, particularly. You know, they've not had any sort of major breaches directly on into sight. It's all been single doorways that they've been working through. They've had to win the gunfights going in there, and they won almost every single one of them. Liquid really caught on the back foot.
Fair to say replaying that round was worth it, Leo?
Yeah, 100%.
For CAG anyway.
You can see the reaction there. You can see the reaction. The reason for this is CAG is one of the worst attacking teams in the tournament. Any round put in attack here is a huge victory for them because they'll switch to defense and they can close the match after
Do I need
this.
to fact check that, or have you looked at the platform to get that out?
No, actually, you can fact check that.
I'll fact check it. VAR decision.
I'm assuming with the entry rate, it's also punishing their attacker side.
You are right, they are the 4th worst attacking team here so far at the tournament. And you're right, their entry rate, 29%.
They're the worst entry team in the tournament.
That's horrific.
This time we've got Anaton on the Deimos, always an operator that I like to watch, especially useful down in basement, plenty of vertical surfaces that you can work through, find those tracks and just spray bullets down from the Vendetta through that soft surface and just bully the defenders around. However, I've just noticed that Nesk on the score pod has just transferred shells up to the top floor. He's going to dip back. I was getting overexcited. He's dipped back down to side.
They're trying to cause problems. They're trying to make CAG slow down. If you've seen here, the first thing that CAG does, go basement, open up the walls, then start working on the roam clear with Deimos. And a slate for vertical play.
Oh, stay standing. Probably assume they got rid of that Deimos here, and would Nesk try and go for it? Surely not, right?
You wouldn't expect so now. If he's aware that they've been up and around that area, I think one of the things you've always got to concern yourself with on Scorpos is a Claymore being put down. He doesn't necessarily know all the operators on the other side and whether there'll be any Claymores to be put on that shell. Doesn't want to lose the class switching over, but again, CAG just managing to play as a team really well. They're there. If one of them goes down, there's somebody else there in a position. They put in Liquid in really bad spots here. Even if Liquid win a fight, they ultimately end up losing the man.
Not only the trade here, team, the droning as well, the droning aspect of it. You had an active drone all the way in kitchen at the same time as Sherwip was making the vertical play, and you had a trade potential with the Lion coming in as soon as the Deimos dropped. Honestly, amazing team play from CAG so far.
Reset's going to get forced back down to site here. Of course, the power of operators like the Deimos, the Dockerby, the Lion. The scans come on through. It's pretty easy then just to step straight back down and take that track with you, essentially. So it does help you as attackers get a lot more control on the map. We were speaking about that soft control being forced. That's what they've gained here.
That move from Maya is key here. He's going to want to retake the garage hatch. He's going to want that kill. If he gets it, they win a round.
But he's missed the fight here as well. Until 1 versus 1 against the Deimos. Ring around the roses. Second player comes on through, and Maya deletes both. Like that, essentially wins the round for his team. What a play from Maya.
Absolutely fantastic stuff, as you say. Such an important flank there, Leo. Needed to find those shots, and for a second, our hearts were in our mouth as we just weren't sure whether Maya had blown his opportunity, but he gets the job done. It's going to be resets to pop around the corner, and I think Liquid might be a little bit revved up for this one.
I mean, based on the chat, absolutely. Aski's already in there saying 2-0. It's actually 1-1, but in their minds, it should be 2-0.
That was so smart from Maya to actually understand no one was watching that flank of the stairs and push that corridor hallway into garage. You also have the CCTV room next to you where you can also flank from there. It's actually very powerful, that garage flank. It's too bad now with CAG. If you count the very first round that they played in this matchup, that's 2 times that they can't watch their flank properly. The drone work is amazing early on to get that man advantage, but come on guys, let's put some flank watch. You're gonna get 3 kills.
Well, this is the thing as well, it's about consistency, isn't it? Because we, picked up teamwork, you'd picked up the drone in earlier on in the round and how great it was. And then they kind of let themselves down with it towards the end and they don't have that awareness of where they're going to be pushed from. And so it's about getting that consistently throughout the round, and they could be significantly more dangerous.
Realistically, you had 2 staircases to watch there. You have 2 men that are down. That's an easy flank watch in all way.
Well, that just wasn't quite to be. Down we go then to the first floor, control and storage coming through as our third site rotation. Then we'll step into those additional bans that you get at the start of round 4 before we play, I imagine, Tim, that same 3-site rotation once again.
Yeah, I would have thought so. We've spoken about this. Teams just like you say, sort of, repeating what works, and just moving on regardless, win or loss. Get themselves switched up immediately. Going to be seeing that garage wall getting opened up by the Thermite. Black Ray, that's just going to prevent a lot of defender rotations around site.
I'm surprised that Liquid is not adapting to this. So as you can see, since the first attacker round, CAG has completely dropped any capture. So you could go and work with more wall denial. Kaid is open, Bandit is open. All of this could actually burn a lot of time for them. We know that CAG struggles to face any problem solving with utility. That's something that, in my book, Liquid is not abusing enough.
And probably goes back to that Super R band that we spoke about earlier, right? Sorfen paired up with a Kai pick as well in isolation, not wanting to pick it up there. And the Bandit, we've already seen them deal with that quite well. Soft floor and denial as well. It could waste a little bit of time, but even as an insurance choice here, they've got Shuri playing across on that Twitch. DMR from below if needed, or of course making use of the shot drones. Lots of ability still to clear those things away. Just don't really want to entertain that dance. Maya with another wonderful shot. Make it 3 in a row now where he's absolutely deleted a member of Cyclops. Started good this game.
Bit of a problem there for Cyclops as well, because of course they're wanting to get that top floor control. They've still got Ask and Nest up there with Maya as well. And it's just going to get worse and worse as Black Ray gets taken down. He's not going to be finished off by the Nitro. He's got cover there. And Anaton manages to find Maya. Maybe sells himself a little bit cheaply there, coming around the corner. Not aware of the cover. They go for another. But this time it's going to be Ask managing to pick up that kill. And he's going to continue battling. He knows that there's a man down around that corner. Sharif has absolutely no option to pick his teammate up right now because he will be challenged if he does.
But look at this, Arcole is coming to join in the window, so they've got the right idea to watch this window and the expectation there'll be a challenge from it. It was a little bit late, but it's worked out for them now. Sharif's gone as well. It all falls by the wayside. Making use of that downed operator really to bait CAG and secure the kills. Great round from Liquid.
Instant crossfire, instant reaction. Ask requires support from his teammate. He comes at the door. One watches the door close to his left. The other one watches the window. And they get all 3 down. Amazing team play from Liquid here.
Yeah, really good. You've also got to remember as well, that was nowhere near site, essentially. That was, the entire round was won off-site in an extension on top floor.
Literally, like, if I was the one playing here, you would not have seen me do that. Like, he challenged the window after downing someone. He failed his C4, Maya did. But because he's fueled on confidence, he's going to go and challenge that window again. Realistically here, he should confirm that with the C4. He failed it. And because he fails it, he goes and overextend here. Doesn't need to do it. He's giving them back the man advantage. But then they double commit to it. Nesk holds the door, and at the same time, Ask was watching the window, and he can commit now. But realistically, them fighting so bad upstairs instead of falling back to site just gives you how much confidence they are right now that they can win this out of pure skill.
Key one for me really was for Liquid. It was all pushing out the same doorway, all pushing from the same angle, whereas you look at how CAG are going there. They had, of course, control inside a connector. They had the window control and still couldn't quite stop Liquid from playing that aggressive and securing the kills that they needed. This goes to show, as you said, Tim, they're really riding on that confidence right now, and they are full of beans.
Back up to the top floor they go. We're going to have the Echo brought along again. No mirror this time, so the strategy here is going to have to be slightly different. Of course, the ban coming through at the beginning of round 4 takes that option away from them. How's that going to impact them on this defense?
So you've got to think, how did you lose last time? You tried to play off time. You had 5 defenders effectively stuck into rooms and got completely smashed by crossfires because you didn't hold enough ground. What you want to do right now, switch your Mia off, bring the Valkyrie downstairs, set up Val cameras for the other ring. Look at meeting room, for example. Look at IT. Look at these spots where you can get C4 from below. That's what your Maya will do here. You feed that information of the C4s with the yokai drones. You extend more. You fight for more ground, and you don't give up that many zones like you've done in round 1.
I'm going on this wall, as you remarked earlier, Leo. You've seen that step away from playing on the Kai, the Bandit. So not even going to bother contesting this one. Just give IT up for free. And probably put a lot of focus now onto Garage itself. We know that Monty on side, Anaton's focus will either be here or be towards top Aqua. Don't expect to see him coming in from the northeast side of things. So knowing that should be the case, that's why you've got Nest 1, sat very close towards Catwalk, and 2, had his Echo drones running around top Aqua, expecting to see the Monty coming in at some point. But as you've just seen, Anaton's working his way in through Garage.
And this is one of the places where we probably see the most impact from that Azami ban. They're taking Catwalk really easily here, and normally you'd have the Azami playing in this corner behind the keeper barricades, and that is your main line of defense to hold on to Warehouse. As it is, CAG have just walked on in there. Liquid, they better have a plan for this because there's 3 of them in complete control, and Glaz is going to start working from that smoke just to see if he can get any line of sight onto anybody inside the room.
I'm surprised there's no IQ switching here at some point from a member of CAG to deal with this, and as it stands, Well, they're being punished. The Yokais are doing the work. You've still got the Vault cams up as well. There's Bulletproof. So much information being fed over to Liquid here. There's nothing that CAG can do to surprise them.
As you can see right now, I need to be speaking the Aqua side. Now this is a key moment. If they get that control, if they get that backstab control, they now have Garage, IT, and Aqua to pressure from 3 different points the bomb site. And they could still rotate one player out of connector because the breach has been open early in the round. That would be 4 pressure points on the bomb site.
1 minute left to go then. CAG continue to push and prod around Aqua, and they manage to get the job done. The flank is cut down as well. There's 2 other guns there, but it's just Anaton on the Monty.
He remains the Monty dueling GOAT, man. You just cannot stop him. Magic stuff to get his team a bit of control here. Still, of course, 2 more players bearing down on him, and his other 2 teammates are hung quite far back here, Tim. This time around, they're not going to lose out. Ness falls down as Blackray finds one. On the flank comes Diaz, though. Do they know about this, Tim? Now that he's shot, they should. And sure enough, Blackray's got it locked down. Anaton, quite literally defining what it means to be a spearhead for your team in that round.
Incredible play with the Monty. And committing there to the Aqua push, I understand what Ask was trying to do. He was trying to be the best because he had his teammate coming up the Aqua stairs. I understand the crossfire trying to face, but you're playing against Anitun on the Monty. I've done that. I've played against that on 300 ping. I can tell you it was not fun. This guy hits every shot with that pistol.
It's terrifying, isn't it? He's done it for years now. I still always think back to the
180
Mexico
onto the
Major.
stairs.
For me, it was that drop shot back on Consulate at the Mexico Major all that time ago, and just winning taking through to the next map. I was like, I can't believe he's managed to achieve that.
And the thing is, I suggested from Liquid at the beginning of the game, they've taken Blackbeard, they've taken Blitz. I said they've allowed Anaton the Monty for 3 rounds. I'm assuming that we're going to see that Monty ban coming in round 4. They've gone for the Deimos instead, but Anaton is far more lethal on a Monty generally, as we can see.
I do understand where the Deimos ban comes from. They've just locked, you know, they're only going to use the Monty for the top floor bomb site. I think they've used it only for this one. So now that they're going to go basement and on a heavy room, they think that the Deimos will be more impactful than the Monty. I can understand that. They only have 2 rounds remaining in defense. So
It's almost like conceding the site to start with, isn't it? Yeah.
They've now tried to hold it for 2 rounds. They know that they failed twice. They're not going to go back upstairs. Now it's a moment where they need to hold that room for longer. And they need to go back to site more easily. Now, last time, the drone work was amazing. Right now, you have 0 intel denial. You need to get rid of those drones where they start hunting the roamers.
Opening up that castle barricade, removing the utility from Liquid again. It's just step 1 from CAG. Work your way through, find out where everybody is, what's the setup, and start softening up those positions. Going to be looking to make sure that they get Liquid cleared out of the map, starting with the top floor. Once again, we've seen how many battles we've had up there on that top floor so far. The problems that they've got to face in front of them really are Maya, Ask, and Nesk particularly. Resets is playing on the cargo stairs at the minute, but I don't know whether Ask has been left alone up on the top floor. If he has, it could be a big problem.
I'm a big fan of the Oryx pick. They know that flank watch is a problem from CAG. They know they're not disciplined enough in that aspect, and Ness could go up a certain hatch later in the round if they give up an area and then flank the entry team.
They've seen the Nomad picked on both of the upstairs sites, but on the upstairs site in both rounds, sorry, but of course haven't seen it down here, and sure enough, it's not a thing. The line of the Dockerbee is one thing, it does help force those roamers back, but once you've gone through those 2 phone calls and the EE1D, it's not a thing anymore.
Ask is working through, and as I said, I'm just not sure they're aware of him. There is a drone there. I don't think it was being watched. Ask does take it out, but he's just going to drop himself back. He doesn't want to aggress too quickly, but he will move back into the fight. You better believe that, and CAG, they need to be ready for it.
They're stressed now. They know their flank cam that was all the way on that side has been destroyed, and they're afraid of it. Now they have to push downstairs. They have 1 minute left, and at the same time, they don't know about their flank. This is a really good move from Ask.
I think Ness in a good spot as well to be able to cause a bit of bother. He was, of course, a bit higher previously. It's fallen his way back down to Haas, the one who was left out in Narnia, it feels like. Right out towards Meeting has now come down those stairs and is on the first floor. Him and Ness moving together here is the key one. They could pincer in and kill off a couple of players on CAG here and turn this round all the way around. Maya's found one. Liquid springing the trap here, Tim, and they found one so far.
And you can see that CAG, they just can't focus because they're coming out of the walls at them at the minute. Everywhere they turn, everywhere they look, there is somebody on a flank. Ask and Ness have been so mobile around the place, switching it up, have a couple of shots, move back, approach from somewhere else, head back upstairs. Anaton manages to find Maya, but with 24 seconds left to go and no real presence on site yet from CAG, this is going to be tough. Anaton really needs to think about getting in there to extend this timer with a plant, but it's unlikely to be possible because they still have that core of the Liquid defense to deal with. The outer players, Nesk, Ask, have just burnt so much time there that it becomes easy for the players on site in the last 20 seconds.
The roam work here was amazing. The roam work, the fact that Ask didn't go and pass that drone, but just shot it and went straight downstairs, that was just buying 20, 25 seconds of CAG just wondering, are we going to get backstabbed from upstairs? And at the same time, we have 1 minute left and we still haven't cleared the ground floor. For me, this was an amazing play from Liquid here right now, and this is why banning the Deimos was so important, to get that defensive round.
Just seeing the replays there of how dominant Liquid were, as you say, Leo, on that roam, just using the map fantastically well. And this is what I always say about Nighthaven Labs. It's such a difficult one for teams who maybe aren't at the absolute peak. If you've got a little bit of a gulf between two teams in that expected performance, it can really show up on a map like Nighthaven because it's so big, there is so much to do and so much room to be used by a team like Liquid.
I feel like it's in those moments that we can see they're missing a strong IGL sense. You know, you have 1 minute left, you know you're never going to be able to clear everything. You failed that aspect of the round. At this moment, a call needs to be made. Rush side, go for it. You're 3 roamers upstairs, you know it. You can go and commit to side and rush. I know it's likely not a 50-50, but you have a better chance at winning the round committing with this kind of crazy plays later down.
That's what Anderson did as well, right? He hit side, right, I'm just dropping straight away. Forget about that. Blackray was then like, okay, I'll watch on the flank in case someone comes, but as you say, they're just going to wait out the clock there and punish you from above. It was good from Anderson to find Maya when he tried to challenge the vertical, but that was really all they got. Extremely well played by Liquid, and with how things are going, you feel like they could lock up a 4-2 half here, which would put them in great stead, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they'll be looking for out of this first half. As a minimum, really, I'm sure they'd have been always happy with more, but 4-2 does certainly get part of the job done. We can see straight away that Twitch drone going in and getting some good value. Last time around on this site, there were a lot of fights. Almost the entire round was fought up on the top floor around electrical and connector.
Wow.
Got a lot of value.
Lots of work with that Twitch drone.
Fantastic.
I think the key one as well, they've been held back by the mute on a couple of occasions. I think up on that top floor, they've always had the mute jammer down on one of those triple walls looking in towards what would be that top floor site. And it has stopped any Salmas, for example, going off. It's stopped them being able to march on through so easily with the Monty. It's put them at a lot of risk. So Liquid's utility game, I think throughout the entire map so far, has just been fantastic.
Reminding you of this, the best way to beat CAG is to read them. And that's why you see so much intel from these guys. So many bulletproof cameras, the Valkyrie, all the yokai drones, almost every round. That's what they want to know because they know how predictable they are when they have the intel. Now it seems clear, it's a garage take, they take limited control and they start working the site. They understand that they don't need to fully roam clear up top. They want to hit site quickly and just have Shibisu here holding the garage. Ask recognized that and he goes down to go help the site.
Anaton just looking to bully his way in with the Monty once again. We can see the smokes going out, the plant is going down, and he's dead. Nesk manages to pick up the kill from above, and this is the problem for CAG. Last time they attacked this site, they tried to clear upstairs, they lost all their lives doing it. This time, they've decided to go direct to site, not play into Liquid's game, but by doing so, they just give them that vertical superiority that they can use so well. However, managing to find a couple of kills here now on the top floor, CAG.
Pulled the trigger and found a couple on that top floor. That's what you wanted to see. Nesk still dancing around up there, and Diaz is dug inside a storage, actually being the site player for them here. So Nesk the one somewhat at risk. Still, of course, knowing that he had a cover over where the diffuser was. It has been recovered by Shurip here, and we've got 30 seconds to make something happen. It feels like enough time, Leo.
It's still very winnable from Liquid. Nesk is the key player here. He needs to... Oh, they're committing to actually fishing him.
And they've got rid of him as well. That's it. Now, surely, Diaz, can he clutch up and go big? He's found one. Blackray, I think, missing him out for a second there. And I think if CAG read into this and know where Diaz is, they can get a plant down from afar, but they've got to be careful of that soft wall.
They've got to play for the kill here. It's the only thing they can do. Otherwise, it's a 1v1.
Which is exactly what it is now. C4 up and over as well. Oh, almost into spot, but they can get away with it as long as the cover is there. Our Cully has got to hit such a crucial shot, and hit it he will. CAG end that half 3-3 with a good recovery there in round 6.
Amazing recovery, and you know why? It's because Liquid overcommitted there. They get the kill on the planter. Perfect. You still have vertical play. Why do you try and retake garage at this point? You're still the winning team here. You've got very control. They only have one player upstairs in garage. you can hold that ground. But they tried to overcome it, they tried to overtake that area, and got punished for it by CAG. Still some of the best gunners in the world. Not sure it was worth the play here. At this point, it's a 3-3 split. I think CAG can be really happy with it. 3 rounds in attack is huge for them.
Well, that's as I said in that round, you know, 4-2 really is the minimum that Liquid are looking for on the defense of Nighthaven, because CAG can now start settling in to play their game a little bit after the side swap. We're going to see the bands coming through. It's Deimos, Dokkaebi, and it's the Electro Bros of Kaid and Bandit that are going to be taken away. So Liquid, at least, are going to be able to work quickly with the hard breaches. They're going to be getting themselves into sight, creating those new angles and lines of sight very, very quickly. But the bans from CAG I like. Deimos, Dokkaebi, just really disruptive to Liquid's attack, to their control. It allows them out onto the roam. They can get a little bit wild here.
But I think the same on the other side, right? The Kaid and the Bandit. We spoke about this yesterday in a few games when we saw it banned away. It was more saying, well, we don't want to get impeded and have to play these mini games in the mid round. We just want to hit you hard and fast and make these rounds move. That is exactly what things like the Deimos and the Dokkaebi also hit a little bit here, because we've seen so many teams enabled by this operator pairing to let you move through the map quickly.
I'm not a big fan of this choice from Liquid. I understand it's a comfortable pick, and I'm assuming they scream this map a lot, banning Kaid and Bandit. Okay, they're comfortable. Do you really think that CAG is the kind of team that will abuse this Bandit and Kaid trick to win the rounds? Do you think it's their strong suit?
Very rarely. BlackRay used to play a lot of Bandit back in the day, but I haven't seen him do it for a long time now.
Exactly, so this is my point. The main way CAG plays is around intel, around strong roams, and around big, huge plays, abusing this Asami, abusing the Yokai drones, abusing shifty, cheesy operators, right? Are they really going to abuse Kaid and Bandit against you? That's not really the kind of stuff that you're going to see from them. So I'm assuming this is not a counter ban, more a classic ban from Liquid, and I'm not a big fan of it.
The way I always see it is like you either ban for your weaknesses or ban for their strengths, right? It feels more like banning for their own weaknesses, things they don't want to deal with, rather than wondering about the opposition. And I'll look back to other teams, and I think it was, I want to say it was old school Dark Zero used to always ban away the same 2 operators in the old banning system. It's a little bit different now, of course, with how things have mixed up. Leo, you look really aghast.
Welcome to CAG. They play IT will open, they play your shield, and they want to challenge you on that staircase.
All right.
Abusing the shield, pick that with Echo, you've got an ACOG against another gun, and I'm not taking that gunfight if I'm Thermite. I'm letting you know. As a hard breach, I would never go and try to play that.
For Maya, it's as simple as getting into storage and taking it out. In fact, that's already been done from below, so it is gone. Didn't even need to worry about that. Of course, you've got the Flores inside too.
And you've got the Ace, so you can just breach that wall from afar, from the roof, really safely. Though I understand this was an interesting choice. Should you have banned Hibana and Ace? I would have loved to see that. You could mute jammer that shield and made it a little bit harder for people to clear it.
It's going to be important to keep an eye on our cover here. We saw Liquid having to defend the catwalk area without the Azami, without the Kiba barricades. This time it is available for CAG, and of course they are going to be playing it in that area. So how much value can our Cully get up there from that gadget? We know that it can be crucial. We know that it can be critical to the defense. Our Cully needs to make it happen, because he is going to be bullied by Ask on the Monty. He's already heading up there. It's now his job to hold on to this area for as long as possible. Delay, delay, delay.
Really well played sync with the Yokai drone, as you can see right now. Push from the catwall window, and that's it. You've got one other player that's completely stuck.
They're really stuck here because there's so much pressure building in around them as well. 3 on the stairs, 1 on the outside. Not a lot you can do. And before you can even blink, look at him absolutely bowled them over there while barely stepping a foot into the map tip.
Despite the utility that was available to them, despite everything that CAG had stacked up, Liquid just had the answers. They just flooded the area with enough guns that there was nowhere safe for those Cyclops players to move. We saw our Cully bouncing about, just trying to get some cover, but he was being pressured from door, he was being pressured from stairs, he had a Monty staring him down as well. Liquid just committing wholeheartedly to taking that area.
And speaking of commitment, it's the half commitment from CAG that punished him here. If you look at this right now, you've got what? Azami and Frost both holding garage, right? But they're facing all 5 Liquid players from 4 different entry points, punishing them. Who should have been there to help? Shibisu. Why am I saying that? 2 players went in from garage window here. If Shibisu goes to Aquador, he has them turning their back to him. He can literally kill the 2 players going in the window into garage and support his players. If you've got to commit to garage with 2 players and you know the entirety of Liquid is facing you, you choose. Do you commit all the way? And this time Shibisu needs to be active here on that Aquador, punishing garage window, or you reverse back to the bomb site. You give them the area and you play for later in the round around the time.
Small mistake may have cost them a large part. Liquid, though, absolutely dominant in their first attack and could be a sign of things to come. CAG going to step away from that site, as you might expect. Down to the basement we go. Going to stick in that same 3-site rotation, Tim. You're seeing a similar setup again here, where they aren't going to reinforce off that single wall up inside a site. They've got a deployable shield looking out in towards Exo to challenge through that soft wall that's going to open up for them. Something they quite like doing, Leo, is bringing along those shields and playing them through soft walls.
Absolutely, and this is why I think that the ban of the Kaid of the Bandit doesn't really matter. I mean, look at this. They even open the wall for you. They're going an extra step than many other teams. They will go and have these cheesy strategies that I love. They also, what I was mentioning before, they love having the intel to go and play aggressive. Here we're bringing Yokai, we're bringing Pulse, we're bringing Mir. 3 operators that will give you constant intel of the players. I'm liking this. It's all about now facing Buck and Ram. Lots of vertical play. You need to get some C4 kills here.
No presence on the top floor from CAG at the minute. There are a couple on the mid floor. We've got Chibisu and Arcully up there, but it's going to give Liquid a lot of freedom here. As soon as they recognise that, they've got 7 drones left on the board. They're going to be flying around this map. It's not going to take Liquid long to notice that they've been given an awful lot of the map, and Liquid will quite happily take it. And then they can start forcing the others that are about. Arcully's in cargo. He's playing on and around the stairs. He's not going to take much to push him back towards site. So Liquid going to have a lot of freedom in this round, I think.
Yeah, we're looking at quite a passive round from both teams, right? On one hand, Liquid just wants to make sure they're clearing everything. They've got air jabs, they've got flank drones, and they want to work the vertical play with both Ram and the Buck. At the same time, CAG right now, and I'm not sure this is the right play, they want to be playing towards the late round. They've got the smoke, the Goyo, the Yokai drones to deny the late round execution, and then the C4s to try and get 1 or 2 kills and burn more time.
Crucially, no Twitch to run on through and take out those Goyo canisters early in the round, knowing again that they'll have an impact the longer this goes on. And Liquid have gone for a full map clear here, really trying to force these roamers down, and Chibisu has paid the price by stepping out on the Goyo. Not the end of the world for a Goyo to do that. Once the gadgetry is down, you can afford to go out and be a bit more aggressive with that gun. High rate of fire, good chance to get a headshot. You're against Nesk. Not always going to pay off against him, given the tournament he's been having so far, though, Tim.
No, Maya just trying to use the angles through the hatch there, see if he can catch anybody out moving around below. We've got those nitros coming out that you spoke about, and that's the first.
Exactly.
That's the sort of value that CAG need to be finding out of that utility. If you're going to play Turtle, if you're going to play behind that utility, you've got to get the value. And Anaton manages to do it, taking down Maya, and who else better to take down than the Book, where Liquid are looking to apply that vertical pressure. They've just lost a big chunk of it.
The big one here is Ass, of course. He's already got the drop in. DS is now within the pair of them, trying to go for this standard default plant, but they're losing numbers here is Liquid's problem. Only 1 more left around the map here, and that's Reset sat around Cargo. They haven't really got the support to make this work, I'm afraid, guys. They could get stuck here.
Reset is the key. If he can backstab and get 1 kill, they can finally execute. Without him backstabbing, they're done.
They've got 1. That's a big one. They should be getting a kill from this spot, but it's been gifted over by Shurip here. Reset's trying to start his march on down Cargo. This is the big one they need. Him forced back by the smoke here means there are none left to stop Ask. But look at that. The swing comes in, and no, it's a team kill.
And the
DS has gone through his own teammate to try and get the other. Diffuser in hand, going to try and go behind the pillar, but not going to get away with it. Black Ray finds him. Resets has dropped, and Anaton is out of there. Wants none of it, but Arcully finds the kill that he needs. These 2 teams staying neck and neck so far.
Great win conditions here, right? The C4s to get you back that man advantage after you lose Chibisu, and then the smoke and the Yokai play to burn even more time, and then the Goyo canister in the end to prevent you from planting. Exactly the win conditions that we set up early, and it worked perfectly. I will highlight something though. It's been a rough match so far for Chibisu. He was one of the highest prospects for Japan. He used to be one of the biggest players on Fnatic by then when they had that Japanese roster. And so far, that's 3-3 death, and it's also the one that should have helped his teammates when they were losing that Garrett round. He needs to get back in the game. But so far, CAG, I'm loving the discipline. I'm loving the understanding of the win condition and the commitment to it. It's great to see them being able to frag. It's even better to see them outplay their opponent with strategy.
Seeing that team kill there from, it's unfortunate it happens, but just seeing that, he's swinging a doorway that his teammate is moving through, and it just makes me wonder if Liquid are just boiling over a little bit. There's a lot of energy in the team at the minute. There's a lot of screaming, a lot of volume.
10 seconds to
just
go.
going in like that, it's like everybody wants the kills. It's like there's that bit of almost panic setting in. It's that bit of confusion that's setting in. He was the cover for Ask to plant, of course, but Ask hadn't got into a position to plant at that point. So spraying through him like that basically ends the round for Liquid, and you feel like they just need to bring it down a notch and get back to that sort of level simmer to just get this one seen out.
The pressure is mounting really high right now. The reason for this is you're 3 rounds away from an elimination and 3 rounds away from qualifying with one of the first seeds in quarterfinals. I'm telling you, if you've got 18 or 20 bullets, you're making it to playoff 100%. I'm pretty sure you're going to have one of the best seeds as well. So lots of pressure on this team. Liquid could be eliminated in 3 rounds by an APAC team.
I mean, CAG have done some crazy stuff the last couple of years. Let's not forget, until 2 years ago, they hadn't managed to qualify through to a main stage, and then have done it twice since then, showed us what they can accomplish. And okay, a team's made some changes, of course, as we've seen, with Sure and Echo retiring, our colleague stepping into the lineup, but certainly not one that you can ever ignore. And I always remember teams for the longest time were saying, we just hate playing against CAG. They've always don't know what you're going to get.
They've always got a surprise in the tank. Like you say, any given day they could have had, as they have now, kind of a middle tournament, nothing fantastic, and then they just turn up and all of a sudden look like a different team. And right now, CAG are certainly putting
That's
Liquid
the CAG I know.
through it. And the thing is, the confidence is growing. They're getting out of the windows. They're making those challenges. They are playing their own game. And Liquid have got to find a way to prevent that. They've got to find a way to stop that.
Anderson's below, mind you, as well. Watch out with the C4, of course, not available now, and shoots also found resets. Leo.
I don't understand what Liquid is doing. 120, they're not in the building. They are not in the building. They have 0 control inside the building. I don't understand the game plan here. I'm assuming they were trying to rush initially with the Ying, but now it's 112 yet. Everybody is aware of it. They've got vertical play. What's the win condition here?
I thought he was going to consider looping that C4 out the window then for a second. They're really trying to make a storage plant work here behind the utility, and sure enough, there we go. That's the charge forward that you need. Maya's in. What a second shot! Shibisu cannot catch a break today, Leo. You spoke about him earlier. He's been deleted yet again by Maya.
My question is, though, where is Ask? Ask has the diffuser and needs to be available. He's now hightailing it around there to work into that space that Maya has created. Arcully taken down as well, and Liquid looking much better. Ask in a position to put this diffuser down any second now. He just needs that little bit of space. He's gone to find it inside the storage while Maya keeps battling, taken down by Anaton, but the diffuser is going down. Ask has really focused on that objective and getting it done in a place that they can hold. Surely Anaton gets 1 of 3 that he needs, but no more. As Ness comes around the pillar, finds his man. And the space that Maya created was everything that Liquid needed.
That felt so reminiscent of a round for the first half. We were like, whoa, CAG, like, you've got no control with only 30 seconds to go, and then suddenly, bam, 2 or 3 kills, right?
That's still a shooter game after all. And to be fair, with the position that they had, they created their own space. The player that was playing in back garage in that hallway was pressured to be playing closer to the site, which gave Maya the space to run in. Realistically though, Maya running in should have been punished from the side on his right? You should have a crossfire there. You should get punished. Sometimes it's just about it, and Shibisu should at least trade him there.
It's a real Siege is a TDM game moment, right? Just run and kill. Yeah.
And Maya is amazing on this, to be honest, but Shibisu should kill that guy once again. If he kills him, we're nowhere near the same point in the round.
Tá, véi, mano, é só manter o jogo mais simples possível, velho. É literalmente só manter o jogo mais simples possível. Toma, tipo assim.
OK。マジで内容いいからしっかり1v1 勝てるように集中してください。気合入れてこうマジで。OK。マジ内容いいから自信持ってなみんな。球も寄せれてるし、ちゃんと打ち合えてるよ。
何ですか宇宙？俺どうしようかな。どうしようかな。
よしここから3本取るぞお前ら。気合入れろマジで。あと。
That feels like such a strange timeout to have because he said so little.
Yeah, I think it's more, from my understanding, it's more vibes check right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's heavy.
I'm not gonna lie, DD is the definition of vibes as well. He's such a cool. Every time I saw him on the show yesterday, for example, here now another timeout, he's always pretty happy and just like, chill, it's cool, everyone, don't worry.
Maybe just looking to disrupt the flow of Liquid as well. You look at that round and you think, right, Liquid are maybe hitting the gas a little bit here. Maya with a big play. They've got players who are now stepping up and saying, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to get that ground for us. And maybe that tactical timeout, 45 seconds a minute, let them just cool down for a second and try and a little spanner in the works.
It sounds painful to say, but it actually feels, we spoke about Chibisu a few times. You look across the board onto Liquid, for example, everyone's playing a part. It's a similar story on CAG, but Chibisu is the one right now who's really behind the fold.
Yeah, and he's also key strategic position. He's the one, in the previous round, he's the one responsible for storage there, right? So when a player runs in from garage, he should be able to kill him from the storage doorway. Now, he wasn't wasn't there for his teammate. So sure, it dies.
Granted, he was having Ying's tossed at him the whole round.
So then he fell back, but then he has a second occasion to help him when Maya volts into the window. He should be winning the gunfight. He doesn't once again, and that is the main reason why Liquid was able to get that round.
I think we're going to see something different from Liquid on the attack this time. Last time they attacked the top floor, we saw a fantastic flood from them into Warehouse, just absolutely stacked everybody up, recognised they were going to be 5v2, went in, took the ground, brilliant stuff. They don't have the Monty this time. We do have the Capitao, so we'll keep an eye on Ask and see exactly where he goes. I think he will be aimed towards clearing that catwalk, but we might just see a bit more of a multi-directional approach from Liquid this time. Diaz manages to pick up Black Ray somehow.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was worth it. I understand though what CAG has been trying to do right now. They were going more aggressive and they have the Vigil to backstab any garage take. And that's the strategy here.
I think he was looking to try and get a C4 onto the stairs there to catch up the players as they walked up, but they've just managed to pre-fire the window and catch him for free.
It's such a default play, to be honest. The Nitro out of electrical window onto the stairs. You know, you've got to be expecting that as an attacker. If you get caught out there...
Oh, shoot, he's been killed. What's on the camera? He was on the camera trying to EMP away the... He was EMPing away the Flores drone and his dive was being sat on it. That is unreal. Not good for CAG.
That's rough. They wanted to be more aggressive. I assume they wanted to be more in the face. Maybe the tech timeout was about this, was about regaining confidence. Well, that confidence just went to Liquid.
Oh boy, oh boy. I was going to say, if they can rely on anyone right now, it's got to be Anaton. He's having a fantastic game. Just in the micro plays that we've seen, frequently outplaying Liquid, but can he really do it by himself here against 4 players that are hell-bent, Maya especially, on getting this one done?
It does put the diffuser down cold on the stairs. That's, I was going to say one... I was trying to find positives for CAG, and then Reset says no, there's no positives here.
Chipasu's gonna
Wilson finds the kill onto Alkali, which starts to free up the Warehouse catwalk. Liquid, with a minute left to go, do need to consider that diffuser, but I think they're likely just going to try and flood sites as soon as they get into position and think about getting those final kills.
They've got time here as well. I mean, they're being so patient about it. There's a bit of a crossfire onto Anaton. He's got to be careful. Reset's coming up behind him. He is now stuck inside of IT, and I'm pretty sure they know the cross has come in. Shibisu, though, finds Myra. I said he might have won before. Now Anaton's getting 3-way pushed in here. Surely he's dead. But no, finds one and escapes. How on earth did they pull this back? Shibisu, awakened from the dead. 2 kills for himself, and Diaz with it all to do. After all that chat and chat, it doesn't feel like it was worth it. Shibisu with a 3K, and CAG battle back in.
Such a good play. Go to Ecuador, go support the player. You get the kill on one of the guys that went backstabbing, then you rush directly back to the bomb site to recreate a crossfire with Anaton that was stuck into IT there. That's really well done from him. You go and pick one player, and then you go and create a natural crossfire. Really good team play, and finally they can get back into winning the game.
Literalmente, mano, só manter o jogo padrão, não tem problema. A gente tá calmo. É só, mano, só manter a calma, né? Mano, arrebenta os caras, velho. Bota drone no pé se precisar. É só Intel. A gente tava fazendo isso bem já no último round. E é isso. Só calma, mano. A gente consegue, tá ligado? É isso.
É isso, mano. É só jogar na calma.
Tem muito mais, mano. É.
Mano, é 5v3, só splitar o bomb, guys. Só
Exato,
isso, mano.
exato.
Só split o bomb, mano.
Mas
não esquece,
mano,
não esquece
calma e temos tempo, velho, também. A gente, mano, tem tempo pra usar, tá ligado?
Não
Não precisa ser tão rápido.
esquece de dronar soda e... ali embaixo ali, tá ligado? Alguém tá dormindo. Só bosta tudo
Só vai
troll.
sair nada, gente. Levanta o mic, tá? Por favor.
Tá, deixa fazer os vertical, pegar vertical. Não, é semi-soda, semi-soda. É semi-soda, velho.
Exato. Vambora,
Você
velho.
vai inibir o cara do metal depois? Né? Como é que a gente vai inibir ele? Como é que vai ser?
Mano, só bosta muito ruim, ô, gente.
Cara,
Bosta
sei,
muito ruim,
bora
velho.
disso.
o do metal, é depois, o Dias vai pegar a Blitz e subir nele.
Tá de boa a voz agora?
Tá de boa.
Ó, lembra que eu vou fazer um vertical em cima do tempo.
My best guess understanding from what I heard there was Maya saying 3, 2, 1 and we go. I heard it Greg, I heard talking about 3. And I imagine then that's what he's saying is like, how on earth have we let Anaton go here?
Yeah.
The fact that he's won this and got away when there's 3 players surrounding him is criminal.
Well, this is what I said when they're in a 4 versus 2 there. I'm expecting Liquid to just flood site, to think we're in position. We've got 1 warehouse, we've got 2 IT, we can push from top Aqua, and we can just all go at the same time.
You can see how much that 3K meant to Chibisu as well. 1 kill for that round, now up to 4. What a play from him.
But Liquid just seemed to be a little bit fragmented there and kind of gave Chibisu the 1v1 on Ecuador, and then Anaton, you know, it just, look, it was all going right until it wasn't.
These kind of rounds are the ones that hurt the most, because when you're in your player shoes, you know that that's the round that's going to bring you to the 6th round mark. When you're round 6, it's very different. You know you have match point, you have a lot of confidence. Now, not only did you give up that round and you're now on equal 5-5, you're not in the lead anymore, but you also rejuvenated the only player that was not awake in the opposite team. And fueling a team like CAG that is extremely based on vibes and energy is really rough for you. And I heard them in the tag timeout. What I got was Calma, Intel, and Psycho V3. They know they lost a 5v3 because they weren't calm enough and they didn't have Intel. So now, working the early run is good, but make sure you don't get flanked.
It's the key one I say, like, even in the start of the round, the first 2 kills, they got being in all caps, having a bit of a banter with the other side and having a go at them in the way. It shows that emotional energy is still high. And I think back to the words of Canadian a long time ago, saying it's about not being too high or being too low, it's staying in the middle. And maybe right now, a couple of players on Liquid are a little bit too invested in this game, which I know sounds weird to say, but there is a such thing as being over-emotionally invested, and it's starting to impact the gameplay here.
That's when you end up with the bigger losses, isn't it, ultimately? You know, it's the ones that mean the most that are going to hurt the most. And right now, like you said, CAG, energy, vibes, everything are up, and they are ready to do some CAGing, Des. It could be a surprise coming along for everybody.
Are you trying to start a riot in chat right now, Tim, saying that? You can't be saying that and not expecting a big reaction.
It's a very different one from the last round they played basement. This time they're even fighting less and they want to play even more into the late round. They've got double C4s with both Pulse and Valkyrie, but this time Maya has invested into the IQ. Much better, right? Because you're facing three operators that can be denied by IQ. Echo, Pulse, and Valkyrie.
Scanning for electronics.
Slow start here. I mean, DS on the Blitz is the one I've got my eye on in this round. You want to have a bit of impact and move quickly, that's the way to do it. But you are coming up against smokes, you've got Cloak canisters, as we've seen from Chibisu, basically the whole half long as the next thing to build up. That's being opened up, and maybe now we're starting to see a bit of a play. Exo going to be the focus, DS being that spearhead. Can he have the kind of impact that we've seen Anderson have before?
Yeah, we're going to see them moving down now, looking to just aggressively take a bit of ground. We want to see Liquid being decisive, getting in there, watch your action, and go and take it, find those kills. These players are more than capable, but look at the denial for CAG. We've spoken about this. Yokai drone, smoke, Goyo, so much there for them to play behind, and they continue to do so, burning more and more time, trying to set that panic in, Leo.
Blitz is the one that needs to be disruptive here. They have understood there's a roamer upstairs. I assume they want to go and get that kill before executing. That's extremely smart, but the Blitz needs to be invested there. They need to be really quick. That's 2 players that are invested in the roam. And the smoke included here.
Oh, here we go. I mean, DS is just there to be a bit of a distraction, but Neski's gone, and they get a second as well. CAG up to a 4 versus 3. Can they hold on here with only 15 seconds still to play? Maya has recovered the diffuser. Another one falls. Chibisu. No big surprise, to be honest with you, but we're into a 3 versus 3. Still time to go here. 5 seconds. They've got to start sticking now, Tim. It's a 1 versus 3 for Ask. It's all over. Cyclops are to match point and a 1 round away from sending Liquid home.
We've seen once again, CAG have stepped up. It's not only big guns, it's outsmarting your opponent. We've not seen from CAG in the years that were coming. They've invested every single time in the international events to learn more, to get more game vision, to be smarter, to play around being disciplined and your utility. Exactly what happened there. Not only did the utility win here, but the reconnaissance that you could send 2 players up top, commit to a room, have vertical play, save them the round.
I feel like Liquid are seriously rattled at this point. That's it. That's what it feels like. Everything's quiet and down there. All the shouting, all the bravado, all the energy seems to have kind of leached out of this team, and they're now left quiet, thinking about, hang on, this might actually go the wrong way for us, and it seems to really be affecting them now. CAG are winning gunfights, they're keeping hold of ground, the Liquid seem to be playing, you know, they go with the Blitz down Exo, no, there's the Goyo canisters, we're going to have to back out, we're going to have to now deal with the roamers upstairs, we haven't already dealt with them, we've got to go and pressure there, and it feels like there's, again, just that lack of decisiveness from Liquid. They need to pick a plan, clear out the utility, make sure the path is clear, and see it through.
The only thing this is begging for now, Leo, is a Chibisu 1v3 to close the game out.
No,
that would be the ultimate CAGing. Oh, it would be something special.
And that would be a great way for him to gain back his confidence for later in the tournament. Because mind you, once again, if CAG wins this round, we should see them in quarterfinals, in main stage. We haven't seen that in a while. And to be honest, the way they're playing right now, they deserve it.
In we go then. This could be Liquid's last round. A tournament on home soil here in Rio. They'd better step up, and they'd better step up soon, immediately opening that garage wall. Last time around, we saw the attack focus around pillar mostly. Maya was able to work a nice backstab into control, get a couple of kills, and it created space. Ultimately, Ask still went for the plant at pillar after moving through, but Maya had created that space. Can CAG hold on to this site a little better? They need a better understanding of where the gaps are and where their cover and crossfires are coming from, so that they can prevent those gaps being taken advantage of.
The strategy so far is very... what a great kill from BlackRay. They've got the opening kill. And it's also the worst kind of strategy to lose a player early. They're going for a full roam clear this time. They're not doing a limited take. They need a lot of bodies to manage to do this. They recognize that they need to clear everything now with the man disadvantage. That's rough.
Ness has got to make something big happen here. He's pushing his way in through the back into IT and trying to get control of this top floor. Right idea, but look, CAG are gone. They've left.
Maya again's getting aggressive on the IQ, straight in towards top floor, manages to find the kill onto Arcully. He could once again be the saviour for Liquid on this site. It creates a bit of space. It's forced CAG back. Liquid now have time to build something.
It was a great 2 versus 1 as well. Both players on that top floor, Nesk and Maya, made sure that he was pincered in. His mistake was stopping to get on the drone, thinking, oh, I'm safe here, they won't chase me down. No, they came for you, and you've paid the price for it. Down to a 4 versus 4, a small misstep, bringing things back to being all square.
Less than a minute to go, and now they have vertical, they have vertical pressure, but they have no vertical operators. They can't really pressure the site now. So that pressure effectively is just burning time for CAG. They have 40 seconds to deny, still 2 C4s. They have everything in their hands right now to close this round.
Nesk is working from above with the Brava shotgun, but as you say, they're very, very limited in terms of opening up too much more verticality. And CAG, they just seem happy to hold on to their positions, but we're going to see Shibisu go down again. He is just going to be hauled up in the middle of sight, almost certainly taken out, definitely not revived. 4 versus 3 effectively, but they don't know about Sharif. They walk on in. We're going to see Diaz down, and we might see Liquid out. As it is now a 4 versus 2 Nesk. Will he be the saviour? He starts to fight back. Not on his watch.
Anderton
2
below.
Kills, and he starts to put the diffuser down.
Anderton's below with the C4. When he finds Nesk, he's got rid of Nesk. There's no time. Cyclops eliminate Team Liquid.
What a game! What a game! They deserve it. They've outplayed Liquid every single time in defense, not only with sheer gameplay, but reconnaissance of where they should flank. Once again, the C4 play from below. Once again, the game vision from Cyclops. They take the win, and they deserve it.
A lack of intel really costing Liquid at the end there. Resets, walks into control with no idea that Sharif is hidden away to the right, and Sharif just turns things on its head. Nesk does his best to pull it back in, but again, we see heartbreak for Team Liquid.
The Kaganing has arrived. Anderton, I've got to say, standout player today. I spoke about those micro moments, but the game sense there, in those dying moments to run through basement, get the C4 from below. There was nothing that Liquid could have done to stop that. What a game from Cyclops.
Amazing play from BlackRay to get that opening engagement, but even better understanding of the game to give up that top floor. You're facing operators that can't do anything to you. There was no bug, there was no RAM. Why would you clear top floor then to not use it? So they recognize, let's go back downstairs, let's play strong position, and let's hold onto that bomb site till the very end. Very well played from CAG.
Elevate also won their game. They're up to 17 bullets. Here, CAG jump up to 18. Picture moment for them, as they are all but guaranteed to be through to our live stages.
The thing is, it's just yet another upset, yet another surprise added to a long list for CAG over the years, and they continue to do it tournament after tournament.
What a phenomenal game we've just had. Leo, thank you for joining us as well, but it's your turn, my man, to return back to the desk. They'll be with you just after this break.
my God, such an intense and fun match to watch it. If you could describe in only one word this game that you just played, what would it be?
Scary. Yeah.
Why?
Because it was a do or die situation. And yeah, we really wanted to play on the main stage, so we went here, do it, we did it.
And now, that's your first time playing in the stage. Yeah. You know, that's so incredible for CAG.
I mean, it's honestly very exciting to play on main stage because like it's everyone's first time. So like we're very happy. Yeah.
I'm happy for you too. I'm really happy. Also, everyone was expecting Liquid to win this match. What were you guys expecting?
Oh, we were expecting to win because, you know, we have to win. It was a do or die situation. We have to. Yeah.
Okay. And APAC teams have such a really, you know, play style, different play style, because you never let us know what you guys are doing next. You abuse that shields. And why do you think that works so well for you? Why it fits so well with APAC teams?
The shields, I mean, we have the best Mountain player, we have the best shield player, Anitsun, so like it's gonna really work well for us. And I don't know, maybe they just don't know how to play against us. Maybe, I don't know.
So now you're in stage. What are you doing next? You're going to celebrate today, you know?
Well, today we're just gonna chill. Maybe these guys are gonna hop in the pool. I'm a little bit sick, so I can't. Yeah.
No, stay away, stay away.
Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, I'm speechless right now.
Yeah, you guys just made history, so congratulations. Right, Mileage, CAG, you know, I have no words to talk about this game.
I mean, Cully had a lot of them. He had a lot of them in perfect English. At some point, you're thinking, wow, he's speaking better in English than all of us combined.
Victor's out of a job, doesn't need the Japanese translation anymore. Leo's out of a job because I'm going to get him on the desk with me.
He speaks better English than me. He plays better Smoke than I did. So yeah, I guess my day is ruined.
I think.
Did you ever beat Team Liquid?
I don't think I did officially.
And he's
what do you mean officially? Scrims don't count.
Scrims count?
No.
I'm just going to say it outright. Well,
Scrims don't count.
Here it is. We're just going to say it outright, gentlemen. The bombshell has dropped. Team Liquid are eliminated, and this harkens back to what we talked about in our pregame. They loaded all 10 rounds, 4 rounds plus the extended mag, and they lost them all. Yep. Maybe having the 9, having 1 extra bullet to survive tomorrow, but CAG just outplayed them.
They went all in, and I think they can regret it now. I will say this, I am amazed by the quality of Siege of CAG.
Yeah.
We used to see this guy go super aggressive,
so much,
but be extremely individual. And second thing, we used to see them not recognize win condition. They would play too hard in certain moments, never go back to side. They would not play around time and utility. These guys, they've learned from international stage.
I think it's worth saying a big step up in performance from CAG, particularly with regards to that team play, the trading out, and just the game intelligence. You know, you're looking at rounds, even that very last round where they won. We knew the C4 was coming. They knew the C4 was coming. It's so nice, refreshing to see this team. Yes, we'll call them unpredictable. Yes, we'll call them a shield team. But it's nice to see them playing to win conditions and playing with discipline to those win conditions as well. They got it done, honestly.
They understood the format, they played with it, and we also cannot neglect that second part of it in the kind of the macro, the outside of the game itself, is that Liquid played themselves.
I think the problem that I see in Liquid strategy right now is I understand when you look at CAG and you think, okay, in a BO1 I should take them, but it's still a BO1. Whatever happens, it's a huge risk. In my opinion, the better strategy would maybe have been to reload less bullets.
Yeah.
But maybe it's okay if you lose 4 or 5, you go into the final round, you still have your extended mag, and you can beat teams that have less bullets.
Yeah. And I think inside of the game as well for Liquid, I don't think they showed the respect that CAG maybe deserved. Like, it isn't unfair to say that we've seen CAG at a lot of international events over the past 5, 6, 7 years not do particularly well. But in best of ones, they are a different beast. They are dangerous. And obviously, you know, Liquid, I think, struggled with their mental from the early game. They were over-peaking, CAG were punishing them, doubling up, and they never really got back into it. It was always an arm wrestle. And from Liquid's mind, I think they expected to be out in front.
When you watch teams like CAG and Fear X so far, how they've been performing, you're thinking, well, they're actually playing really well in the game. They're playing the bans very well. So at what point do we say it's not actually the best of one format that's
aiding them as much as we think. It's just them being better than we thought they were.
It's hard. It is hard because I'm not taking anything away from this CAG victory in the best of one. I think if we had 3 maps, Liquid would settle themselves back in. I will say that as well.
I think in general, we're going to see this BO3. We're going to see this level when we're going to check other maps from them. I want to see them beat a big team on a BO3 to really, make sure they can actually be a strong contender. Right now, they're on the lesser hand of the Dark Horses.
And we probably will see them in BO3s because they probably make main stage. I don't want to 100% confirm it.
19 bullets, I think they have now.
Yes.
Surely they make
4
it.
teams to overtake them would be crazy.
Yeah, it's all the bullets that they want out of this game plus an extra bullet because they eliminated Team Liquid. That's a bonus bullet that you get at the end of it. But here's what they look like qualifying. We showed, not qualifying yet, but like winning the game and pretty much putting themselves in the best possible scenario. They're excited, they're hyped, they're jumping around. This is an energy that we have longed to see out of CAG.
We loved that energy from them. It's amazing to see it again. And now we do have the teams at the top of the leaderboard are a huge surprise. 3 out of them are from APAC.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very likely. Obviously, there's still a lot of Siege to be played, and the reason that we can't fully confirm this is things like 7-0s come into play, and the different reloads and cards come into play with eliminators. But it's going to be very hard for teams to get above 16 bullets. So CAG on 19, chilling. Probably through.
So far from Reload, the explanation has been turning everything on its head, right? It's APAC on top, then Brazil, then NA, and then EU that last. When was the time where we could confidently say that, looking at not just one best of one day, but 4 in a row with 10 matches in each day?
Yeah, it's very surprising. I think when you look at this leaderboard, once again, you look at the round difference and you see that the teams at the top of the leaderboard have a negative round difference.
Yeah.
So it's not really for me a testament of how good they are. It's a testament of they were at the right time, at the right moment, and they also reloaded the right amount of bullets at the right moment.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of it. It's not really for me a testament of how good the team is.
It speaks to the power of the strategy of the teams, determining how many bullets they're going to reload, but also how strong the cards are, particularly extended mag, but also the eliminator cards. Both teams at the top have eliminated teams.
And they understood the format.
I want to mention once again that team roster of CAG, because I feel like they've rebuilt the right way. If you look at it, they kept the core, the two strongest player on CAG were Aniton, with his shield blade and his game vision, and then Black Ray as an entry. And then they've rebuilt around it. Strong up-and-comer that was Shibisu. He still needs to step up a little bit. I think he's the weak link so far in this tournament. We've seen it multiple times. He cost his teams today. So he can step up. He also had an amazing clutch. And I think Arcelis as well is he's doing so much. He's doing so much on his smoke. He's doing so much on buying time. And he has an incredible game vision. They've rebuilt around the right way. They still have the aggressiveness, but they understand the game better.
I love how just Leo's been talking the entire time now and throughout the whole cast, and you can tell the amount of energy that we all have because this is unprecedented. Seeing something like this is exactly why we're here. This is why we love this game and are part of it for so many years. However, our Blacklight detail, what is it for our matchup? Gents, please tee it up.
Yes, this one's going to be from me, and I think actually it was in a very, very early round, and it was from Team Liquid. So they didn't win the match. They did get the detail. There was lots of things that we could have pulled out of this game, but this round, for me in particular, this was when Liquid had settled themselves back down. Ask gets a huge kill here, and he baits out, immediately brings a teammate into a crossfire. Notice how he's holding the window, teammate comes in to hold the door. When CAG then have to make their move, because they had to make the move in the 2 versus 4, they switched positions and swung out and got the kill at the same time. It was a really nice bit of a 2vx scenario because the other players of Liquid were not relevant inside that round. Now, there was lots we could have gone on, but yeah, that one for me was really impressive team play. I actually think had Liquid have done more of that, they would have found more success inside of this game, but I think they were maybe a little bit rocked.
They got a bit inside of their own heads. That's what happens in games like this. And I can't wait to see what the rest of the day has to offer because we have potentially a minimum of, one more team that we can eliminate as a minimum, but then up to 5 more. Gentlemen, the overall story has also been IGLs and what they can offer. So let's take a look at the IGLs and the IGL Summit Episode 4 after this break.